Who are the Smarties anyway? You. You are a Smartie if you don't believe everything you hear. You are smart not to listen to hype sales and flashy, too good to be true offers. Now the Smarties know how to give value, and they're worth every penny of what they charge. They are smart people who stand behind their services and products with integrity, quality, support, and commitment. There is another characteristic of the Smarties. We're always learning, and we share what we learn. We help others, being of service to our brothers and sisters in the marketing and personal world. We are also commonly early adapters of good ideas and conscientious rejectors of bad ones. I think I just coined a phrase. So if you're hearing these words and they resonate with you and generate good feeling inside you, guess what? You're a Smartie too. Good morning, Saturday morning marketing Smarties. Greetings, everyone, and how are you? You're from everywhere. You're not just from Southern California. I realize that. Could be the East Coast or Central or Mountain or with me on the West Coast or Europe or on the other half of the hemisphere of this globe that we call Earth. So wherever you are, welcome and thank you for joining us. Please say hi in the comment stream and let us know where you're coming from and make some new friends. And in the listening audience, you can meet the people and talk to them, mention them, plus their names, circle them, and they're all good people, and I can vouch for most of them. But you can have some fun meeting people and share ideas and build your little circles with them, with the people in the audience there. All good people. So before I go on, I want to say hello to my conspirators. Oh, wow, I've had Molly Whitebox for about 2 or 3 minutes. I'll take you off there just so you don't feel like totally on the spot. But now I'm going to put you on the spot because we're going to introduce my, as I say, my co-conspirators, starting with Molly Youngblood Geiger. Would you say hi, please? And don't go into too much detail because I'm going to give you about 10 or 15 minutes to do that. Go ahead.
Okay, great. Hey, everyone. My name is Molly Weger. This is Design Right for You.
Oh, let's pause for a second and work out a technical difficulty. For some reason, your video and microphone were lagging. Did you see the same thing, Terry? Yeah, let's try that again. And that was a rehearsal. Now you're on. Now you're off.
All right, thanks, Roland. Hi, everyone. My name is Molly Youngblood Geiger, Design Right for You out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay, that was better, and that worked fine. Thank you very much. And as I said, we're going to give you some time in a little bit to talk about yourself. And before we go on, I'm going to introduce Terry Lee Britton. Say hi, Terry.
Hey, everybody. Great to be on this show as usual every Saturday, and that I've been on. It's been a blast. Gone into some real super realms. So I look forward to hearing Molly's presentation, and I've got a whole bunch of stuff to share also. So we'll see you in a bit.
Okay, and of course we are going to give you a chance to do that because today of all days, this is something that I want to do on Mother's Day weekend, and we delayed it. You might have seen all the confusing details about what the program was going to be about. Then we had an impromptu live stabbing of YouTube information from Terry's channel and all of his good information. But we're going to revisit this today because I want to talk about the people in my green room who join me every week, spend time, they're here, and just giving to this program and really contributing a lot of value every single week And when they can't, they can't, but they're here very often. And what I like about the show is that they want to be here, and I don't have to twist any arms, or thank God. But anyway, since a lot of people watch this program week after week, and unfortunately I'm starting to default and call it a show, and I hate that term because I don't really consider it a show. We're having a group conversation with the people in the green room and out the green room worldwide. And I don't have some kind of a prepared show to make some kind of a specific calculated impact to promote something, sell something, or like that. It's an educational program, and that's what we do. So today we're going to talk about the people sitting before you. And if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask. We may not be quite so prolific in answering the direct comments, and I might mention them from time to time, but I'm kind of like the only one monitoring comment tracker at the moment. So, but be it known that I see you people here making the comments and contributing, and I want you to be here. Give us questions, and we'll answer them as we can, but mainly we're having a casual hour today. And that's more of a getting to know you thing, because I really feel like if we're here every week talking, you should know who you're talking with, and you should know who you're listening to, and why you should listen to Molly, why you should listen to Terry, why you should listen to me becomes evident if you spend enough time and realize where we're coming from. But if you just happen to be here on the show one day, you probably don't know some of the things that you're going to learn today. So with that, I'm going to start out by turning it over to Molly Youngblood and ask her to basically talk about your business, talk about your passions, or whatever you would like to for the next 10 or 15 minutes. Go ahead, Molly. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Ron, for that introduction. Yeah, my name is Molly Youngblood Geiger of Design Review out of Jacksonville, Florida. And the reason I'm sitting here today is because one of my passions is to help businesses succeed. And when I first went into business, I was a startup just like everyone else, and I literally, and from there I built my business and I honed my skills and started searching for clients. And by doing that, I ran into some bumps in the road. One of those was, I would approach a client about building them a website, and they were like, well, I paid this other web designer $1,500 and they skipped town. And I'm like, oh, this is a problem. So it was from there I came up with a solution on using flexible installment payments to work with clients. And it actually turned out to be a pretty good solution, because it took a situation where it was a lose-lose, meaning they couldn't afford my service, to a win-win, meaning I got the business, I got the client, and at the same time they got the work, but it didn't break the budget. So from there, I pretty much just built my business with word of mouth. A lot of my clients would refer other clients over to me, and specifically in the last year and a half, I can say I've been very active on the Google platform in regards to Google Partners community, Google Small Business community, and a lot of good interactions there. Learned a lot of insights from Googlers, which are people that I beta different products for, and I have a couple of managers that I report to at the Googleplex. It's been an awesome experience. I actually was invited to go out to the convention out there last week for the 2015 Internet of Things. So it's like things like that. When you feel an inclusion from Google, they feel that you're of that stature where they want to invite you to those types of things, and they want to send you what they call as Google swag. It really, for me, makes a big difference. But I think for the most part, my objective is to help small businesses succeed, and it's through my experience, through what I've learned in Google. through what I've learned working with different clients that I think has honed me into the person I am today. And somebody will come to me and they'll go, well, I'm a small business. What do I need to do to get online? And obviously, website is the very first thing you have to have. But I've had the experience of people coming to me and they said, you built me this great website, but I'm not getting any traffic. I'm not getting any business from it. And there, I said, well, we need to optimize the website. We need to make you visible online and for search, for Google Ads. A lot of people, I asked them right from the beginning, what are your objectives? Do you need business now, or are you looking for business a couple months from now, meaning you already have some type of revenue coming in? 9 times out of 10, it's I need business now. I'm ready to start. I'm ready to start making some sales, and so it's through asking a series of questions like this that I try to determine what the goals of the business is, and then I, in turn, will come up with a plan in regards to either search engine optimization, Google AdWords, Google Analytics, Google My Business. They may require graphic design. There's just, our industry is not a cookie cutter type industry. It's really about getting the client and finding out what their objective is. I can say for myself, I actually met with a potential client this past week, and she's been working with a web design firm here locally, very well-known web design firm, I might add, and she has basically waited 9 months for a website, which she doesn't like, and has been paying for internet marketing for the last 6 months, and is nowhere. She's not on page 1 organically, non-organically, no AdWords, no analytic tracking. I mean, there's really nothing going on, and it was through talking with her that I learned that it really is about, as you mentioned, all of our different areas of expertise. We all have a vast variety of different skills that we offer. And myself, I tend to focus on making a business visible in the sense that, if they have a pre-existing website, I'll work with it. I work on all platforms: WordPress, Joomla, Drupal, Wix, HTML5. If they have a pre-existing website, I'll work with it. If they need something brand new, I can build it for them. But primarily, when I did an audit of her website, and I literally sat right there and showed her the source code of what was on her website, and I explained to her, I said, you have hardly any search engine optimization here. You have the bare minimum. You have title, description, and some keywords. That was it. I mean, she didn't have any open graph, Twitter card. That if you're able to assess where a business is at and show them, hey, this is what you have right now, and then show them this is where you need to be, it serves as a good example for people to understand, okay, this is what Molly can do for me. This is why I've asked her to come take a look at my website, because I don't know anything about this stuff, and I need to bring in an expert that is going to know what direction I need to go in. So my primary focus has been just working with clients. Like I mentioned earlier, it's usually a variety of different techniques that are employed to be able to get them online. But I think mostly what's very important also is once you've got all of this in place is to actually track that information. I think it's super important to have Google Analytics in place and have, if you're using AdWords, conversion tracking, set up goals in analytics, set up funnels, monitor your audience, find out where are people searching for you. Are they finding on social networks? Are they doing organic searches? How are they finding you as a business? And I think once you can assess that, you can turn those efforts and focus on that particular revenue stream of, okay, well, a lot of people are finding me on social. So if they're finding me on social, it's probably a good idea to do some more advertising on social. Going into that, I would add too that just over the last year, I would strongly recommend video for businesses. I know we had a session earlier a couple weeks ago where we talked about YouTube optimization, Google Hangouts on Air. Those are all great tools for a business to use, but I think a lot of businesses are intimidated by video because of the fact that they're camera shy, they're just not sure exactly what it is they're supposed to be making a video of. But I think if a business can utilize video for them and, you know, just practice. Just get on there, do a test video. If it's nothing more than doing a tutorial on your office, you know, showing the office software. You know, if you have a staff and having your staff introduce themselves, I think those are all great means of getting business online. So for me, to summarize everything, what I try to do with my agency is assess where a business is at, determine what they're getting, and then based on those results make recommendations on how they can improve their traffic and their revenue. So
good deal, Molly. Now I'm going to interject just for a second, but you've got some more time left, so start be thinking about how you're going to fill it. But what I wanted to say was that you might be lowering your bandwidth a little bit because your microphone is crackling a little bit. There's not a consistent feed, so you might try lowering your bandwidth a little bit, and it might take the pressure off of trying to produce better video and give more to your vocal reproduction. So we can try that. And anyway, you know, you said something really important a little while ago.
See if I can try that.
That sounds pretty good. And you said something really important a little while ago that it pertains to all of us, and I'm sure Terry could agree to this too. There is no cookie cutter. And basically, when I see things like the 7-step approach to success or like the foolproof method to do blah, 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 I want to choke on myself because it just never made sense to me. I've spent money on some of them and tried them, but that was a really good point. So if you want to follow up on that, that's great. If you want to follow up on a few other things to fill the next 5 minutes, you can do that too.
Sure. Well, what I'd like to do is just share my story on why I went into business. I think that's, you know, it's a good topic. You know, what is your story? Why did you go into business? Why are you doing what you're doing? And for me, in a former life, I was in the financial world. I was an accountant, and I worked at a very large bank, managing their Freddie Mac investor accounting portfolio. I managed 7 multi-million-dollar accounts. And the purpose of my job was to improve the reporting, the accuracy of those portfolios. And so when I first entered the department, our accuracy was at a 68%. And in my book, that's an F. So it was my job to assess what was going on, what was causing our reporting error to be, or our reporting to be so low. And it was through literally about 2 years worth of work of going in and manually fixing adjustable rate mortgage loans that either, you know, the margin was off, the LIBOR was off, index was off. And so one day it dawned upon me, I said, well, instead of me going in and fixing these loans after the fact, why don't I go in and create a database that compares what we're getting ready to report to what Freddie Mac is expecting, and then have this database spit out the errors before we report it, thus, you know, improving our accuracy. And so I did that, went in, compared the databases, and corrected all the errors, and I was able to take our accuracy in reporting to a 99.9%. And I did this consistently for about a year and a half. And ultimately what happened from that is there was an invitation to participate in the Freddie Mac Technology Servicing Award, and I thought, well, you know, I'll throw my idea in there and see what happens. And so at the time I had actually been on short-term disability because I'd been involved in a car accident, and while I was on disability I was notified by my supervisor that I had actually won this award. I was one of 10 people in the entire United States that won the Freddie Mac Investor Accounting Award. And through that, originally I was supposed to have gone, accept the award, so on and so forth. Well, upper management decided that, well, we're just going to send your supervisor in your place, and you know, we feel that there's, you know, maybe you're not quite recovered from your accident. So, before I could even turn my head, I got a message saying that I've been fired. Now, I'm on disability.
Oh,
so,
no.
Yeah, I'm on disability. I just won this national award, and I've improved their accuracy, I mean, literally for like 2 years now, 99.9. And by the way, during this time, I'm earning them bonuses, I mean, cash bonuses, because of the fact that they're reporting accurately. And so I stopped what I was doing, and I said, if I'm going to work this hard to fix something, to take a problem and to fix it, then I'm gonna work that hard for myself. And that was when I decided to start Design Right for You. And as I mentioned earlier, it was very meager in the beginning. I didn't have a lot of resources. But I think with any small business owner, it's a matter of taking what you have. What do you have right now? What do you have today? Who can you rely on? Or what resources can you turn to? And if you can look at your situation right now today and go, okay, this is it. I'm making a decision to go into business. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to do it. I think if you have that resolution within yourself, whatever you have to do, and that's what I did. I made the decision to go into business. I stuck with it, and I'm a very stubborn person. That is one thing you may not know about me, but when I make a decision to do something, I'm committed to it and stuck with it, and here I am. So.
I love that story. That's a cool stuff. And Molly, you exemplify one of the things that I have been saying here for 7 months, and that is that basically we're all working on some kind of a budget. Otherwise, we wouldn't be looking around here trying to interact with people in Hangouts. But it's basically a general principle that if we want to get things done, we have to do what we can with what we've got from where we are. So if you really assess where you are and assess your assets and the things that can make a difference, and you start with that and just go into action, something positive is going to come from that. So I really appreciate your story, and I love where you're coming from.
Yeah, I would just add to that, kind of the icing on the cake, literally. Once I started building my business up, 2.5 years ago, you'd say Molly Youngblood Geiger, and nobody knew who I was. I mean, I was just another website designer in Jacksonville, Florida. Now that has changed, and it's changed because of my involvement with Google, the Google Partners community, Google Small Business community, being on your show, just overall trying to help people online. And through doing that, I've gotten, just a lot of acknowledgement from the Google Partners community. I'm not sure if people know, but I am an ambassador in that community. What that means is the Google Partners community is a Google ran community. So I actually interact with Googlers, managers at the Googleplex. I'm asked to beta things. I'm asked to give advice. In fact, just this past week, the Google Small Business community, one of my managers said, hey, we're doing this initiative. We're asking an advisor. We want you to do an educational write-up. So, when you have the opportunity to do things like that, it's priceless. But the thing is the only way I got to where I'm at today to even have that opportunity is because of what I'm doing right here, right now. I'm sitting and I'm giving advice on what I went through, on what I learned, and what I did that got me the acknowledgement from Google. And I don't like to spread this out too much, but I am also a Google Rising Star. And a lot of people are like, what's a Google Rising Star? Well, it's a pretty big deal. And at the time that I was told I was becoming a Rising Star, I didn't even realize the magnitude of what that meant. But what it means is when you are appointed as a Google Rising Star, Google acknowledges that you have shown expertise in your field and Google product knowledge. And they want to acknowledge you by bestowing this title. Right now, currently in the entire world, there are 220 Rising Stars. That's how big a deal it is. What that means is if I continue on this path that I'm on, going out, helping people, sharing advice, tips and tricks and that type of thing, I will become a Google Top contributor. I actually frequently talk with top contributors just on a variety of different subjects. But to become a Google Top contributor is it's a lifetime achievement. It's something that once you achieve that title, even after you pass into your next afterlife, you will always be known as a Google Top contributor.
Cool.
That's how big a deal it is. So, to be a part of that, to be a part of your show, to be a part of Google Plus, the Hangouts, it really is an honor, and I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my story today, Roland.
Oh, you're welcome. And it's my privilege to have you with me on this Hangout series. And I just can't believe you've been around for 7 months. Can you believe that? You came on when we first started doing these. We didn't have lower thirds. We didn't know what comment tracker was. Nothing. And you had one Hangout, and I watched the Hangout, and I was the first one to join your community.
Yes, I remember that. I remember when I finally made the decision to start a community, and that's a whole nother hangout on how to manage a community. But yeah, I remember you were one of the first in my Molly community. So I thank you for that.
Yeah, my pleasure. And before we go on to, thank you very much. And this is exactly what I wanted to accomplish today, because my peeps in the green room never get to talk about themselves. I basically disallowed it. I never actually spoken that, but it was made clear that we're not going to be pitching at people, so I haven't let anybody do that, and no one has asked. So today I'm telling them that it's basically a pitch for them, and that's why we're doing this. So now we're going to go over to Terry in a second, but I wanted to say my niece Trinette Hackett is coming to us from San Bernardino, and this is the first time I've had a family member watching the show other than my wife. And I'm welcome, Trinette. Thank you for coming. I want to introduce her to Hangouts and get her interested in maybe doing something similar, because she's got a business coming up. And also, I appreciated that Bill Graham is out there and says, "You're right, Roland. It's not a show. It is an event." Oh, excuse me. I know it's an event, but the thing about that is that so many people call it a show, my show, like there's some ego thing about the show. And I'm proud of what we produce, but my ego is just not there. And I hope that it comes across that way. And I would also like to show, I'm going to share this one because Heather Crafter, why does this work? Okay, then I won't share it. Well, everything else has been working fine today except for that. Can you guys see a share if I do that? Wow. Gremlins. So anyway,
yeah, it flashed for 1 second.
Really? That's okay. Heather Crafter says she agrees. The only 7 steps to anything is hard work, drive, discipline, and more hard work, and so on. And so thank you, Heather, for making that mention. That's the whole key. We have to have a lot of gumption and make a few of the right choices and do a few of the right things, and then we will get results. Now, from there, I want to make it clear too, I want people to keep on commenting, and consider that you may comment on what you would like to see in this program in the future, and you know who the people are. You'll get to know them a little better today, and so you might ask for something specifically regarding what you've heard about, what we've talked about, and something that you're incited to do. Otherwise, you're subject to whatever I want to talk to you about. So let's go to Terry Lee Britton now, and Terry, give us the rundown on what you do.
Okay, well, I do a ton of stuff. It's unbelievable. And I've always done a ton of stuff.
All very true.
So yeah, right now I have a bunch of tabs open. I'll give you a little quick background. I've been involved in the arts. I've been involved in nonprofits. I've been a college professor teaching graphic arts and printing. I'm a computer programmer primarily now, doing web development. I don't. This is a little awkward, the whole idea of doing a pitch, because I'm a referral-only business, so I pretty much mostly take clients that have been referred to me by other clients. But I do a lot of things that are helpful to people, and so I'm going to promote those things that are helpful to people that I have available on my web properties around the webs. And I'll do a little bit of bragging, showing off some of my clients too. How's that sound? So let me do a screen share. Here we go. I am screen sharing, says it. Okie dokie. All right, well, this is my profile page. And so, Terry Lee Britton, all one word, is at Google+. And I share lots and lots and lots of stuff on here that's useful. And so, if you're not following me already, go ahead and follow me. I pretty much don't put in stuff that's just fluff. Once in a while I'll put in something funny, but mostly it's informational that's useful. I have a YouTube page that's massive, and it's got it has a bunch of playlists featured, basically. I broke down many of the different things that I do, my tech show archives, my conceptual music stuff, the OBS software, Photoshop and Pixlr shows, all these different, these are all playlists in here, Hangouts on Air shows, education shows, the Abundance Project shows, the Cam Studio tutorials, and I have a Cam Studio tutorial in here. It's got like 600,000. Oh, here it is, 663,988 views as of today. So over 500,000 views for one video. and I'm very fortunate. I've got a little over 1 million views total. So in 3 years that I've been. So initially, when I came on board, I was mostly a YouTube helpful video uploader, and then I discovered the Google Plus and really got rolling about 2 years ago, and have been just having the greatest time. So, it's been a wonderful experience for me. And I have my special appearances on other people's shows, like, look, it's the Smarties Show. and my appearances on the game shows, because I do every Friday night and sometimes Sundays we do a game show program. The Plus Word is based on the old game of Password. We've also done a spin-off of Hollywood Squares, and we've done a spin-off on the Match Game on Sundays in the past. All right, so there's my YouTube channel. It's got massive stuff. Lately I started doing this Blue Juice Jubilee variety show. And look, it's a show, okay? It is a show. And but it's a variety show. So what do you call a variety show? A variety event? No, it's a variety show. So, but it is something of an event because it's 2.5 hours long every Sunday evening. Even though it starts at 5, the first hour is a musical interlude to kind of get people in their seats, and then the actual programming begins at 6 and goes to 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. So, so it's a long show. I cover music. I do musical performances. I compose live using keyboards and flute. I show how to do multi-track recording, how to use Pixlr's image editor, and all these tricks in there. I show stuff about YouTube channels, and you name it. It's 2.5 hours packed with nonstop thrills and chills. So, so that's my recent big project, is doing that every single Sunday. I am active with the user-to-user live community, and here to get rid of that, you don't need to see. We're going to see this on every page because I had so many tabs open when Roland said, "Where are you?" Basically, that's going to show up on every page. So anyway, yeah, user-to-user live. The community is called User #2 User, and it's a whole bunch of helpful people helping each other. And I'm active on that. I'm active over at the Online Video Educators and Entrepreneurs community as well, and which is a dynamite community if you're interested at all in teaching at Udemy or Udacity or any of those online things, using Fedora, using Thinkific, using Zenler, any of those, all those different platforms are discussed, and ways of teaching and imparting knowledge through video on YouTube, on the internet. So it's a great community. I love that one. Also, there's the game show Hangouts, has its own page where the upcoming Hangouts are announced. So you might want to join that little community. And if you're interested in watching games, and believe me, the game shows are fun. They're really fun. The thing about the game shows is, in the comment stream, the people who aren't in the thumbnails in the film strip who are playing the game, they're playing the game via the comments, trying to guess the words and trying to solve the puzzles and stuff. Then I also have the Open Broadcaster software community, which is software I use for doing live streaming. And that Blue Juice Jubilee variety show is done as a live stream, not as a hangout on air. And I use this OBS software to do it. It's consistent quality. The audio is always good. As you've seen just in this program today, Hangouts on air can have a little bit of variability in quality. So a little more consistency is available through live streams, and so that's what I use for that show, because it's a 2.5-hour show and I don't want it wavering all over the place. The OBS software I can't recommend it highly enough. It's really cool. It's free. It works in Windows. It works in OS X. It works in Linux. And it lets you do live streaming. So it's awesome. Another piece of program I promote a lot is the Voice Meter program, which is like an online mixer that's built into your computer. And it looks like this in the simple version. Or they have a Banana, the Pro version, which is a little deeper and has an extra slider here, an extra slider there, so it's extra outputs, more features. Okay, both of those I have whole playlists of videos for both OBS and Voice Meter on my channel. Okay, and I have the communities like this OBS community, and so that's happened too. I also, as I showed you, I have one video over 500,000 views. It's a Cam Studio thing. I've been with the Cam Studio team for about 5 years or so, 6 years, and doing some, the tutorial videos, and I also help out on their forum. So I'm very active on the forum. I'm kind of the moderator there and answer the questions. Right now the forum's a little bit broken. We did an update and boom, everything broke. Nobody can post, so we were trying to fix that. If you do download Cam Studio, I would recommend going to the SourceForge page and getting it there. If you're not used to installer programs that have ads, where they're offering you to download such and such software along with the program, if you're not used to declining those offers, stay away from the version that downloads from this page, even though it is a more recent version. Just go to SourceForge. Go to SourceForge, do a search for Cam Studio, and download it from there, and you'll get a easier installer. Alrighty, Pixlr Tricks. It's talking about the Pixlr Editor, which is like a Photoshop, very Photoshop-like resource that's on the web. It was originally written by a Norwegian fellow and his team, and it was picked up by the people who do AutoCAD. Autodesk bought it and declared they were going to make it free forever. So you have this free super editor, that the Pixlr Editor, which is just super duper unbelievable. I'll go ahead and make like I'm starting a new image. It has layers, it has all kinds of adjustments and filters, a full toolbox. It's a very deep thing, and I do a ton of videos on those. I also provide a page called Pixlr Templates that allows you to have the templates with the correct sizes in them for all the social media things. Google+, Business Hangouts, YouTube Live Events, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, Bandcamp, some flyers, AdWords stuff, we'll get to that later, mobile banners, and extra stuff. So basically, you go and you find the size that you're going to need, like you're going to do a YouTube thing and you need the thumbnail image for your video. You just click this thing, and it's going to freeze for a second. It loads in the correct size right away and puts it in place. So As you can see, that's already 1280 by 720. Just from clicking on it, it's already invisible, and you just go up here to layer and open an image as a layer or URL as a layer, and it becomes the thing you bring up from your computer becomes another layer, so you can start combining layers. And I have all kinds of videos on doing that you'll enjoy. All right, so look how many tabs I got to get through. I have my Terry's Tutorials community where I put a lot of more general tutorials about all kinds of stuff, and so do people who are members of the community add tutorials. I am a moderator at the YouTube live streaming thing, because I told you I'm really into the streaming scene, and so I made a moderator this sometime. Bern Rexer is actually the one who started this site. It's a super duper site if you're looking for help doing live streaming. Learning Physics Online is a wonderful site that I'm also a moderator of. I am not a physicist, but I'm an armchair physicist, armchair scientist. I find all science interesting and fascinating, and we've been putting a lot of interesting articles up here about all kinds of aspects of physics. Very fascinating. Let's see. I got the Produced Hangouts is another great community I'm active with. That covers more HOAs, Hangouts on Air, and the different types of things that you can do with Hangouts on Air and peripherals to it. Okay, I'm running along through here. Oh, I've only been talking 10 minutes? Amazing. Okay, now we'll get to my web properties. I've got screencast tutorials, which I started long ago to support initially all these different screen recording softwares, okay? And this page has become a little bit neglected because I've put so much focus on YouTube and on Google+, frankly, and on those communities over there. But it does still have a wealth of information on it, and one of the coolest category selectors, tag selectors you've ever seen in your life. But nonetheless, I also have my own regular page, terrybritton.com. And you see there's mention of the Blue Juice Jubilee show, the first one. This is another page that is primarily text because I mostly write articles about code, image manipulation, Chromebooks, abundance in music. So there's a lot of things, but you're not going to find hardly any pictures. Once in a while, sure, you go into the image manipulation section, and you'll find pictures there because I'm talking about pictures. Mostly you find links to videos. I hope it didn't freeze up because I went and loaded a thing. Mostly you'll find links to videos that I have done on different aspects of using Photoshop or using Pixlr. You also have my famous The Color Rhyme is on this page, and a bunch of Photoshop stuff. Okay, so it's, but like I say, even though there's so many free images out there, I am just so pathetic at getting images on my own websites. It's not even funny, which is why I'm not a designer. I'm a web developer and a design implementer. I implement a actual designer's design into code, because the design ain't going to show up there unless somebody tells the browser how to interpret the information. So that's what I do. Now I'm going to bring you to the sites I do for work. I'm with the North Carolina.
1 minute, Gary.
Okay, I got North Carolina Native Plant Society. It's a massive database-driven site with huge search capabilities for all the plants, native plants in North Carolina. I've got Rural Intelligence, which is a newspaper that covers a 4-county region where Massachusetts, and Connecticut, and New York State meet. And it's a huge website. I got the Foundation for Community Health that I've been with for a long time. I've got the Movie House up in Millerton, New York. I've got Sally Helgeson's website. She's a great speaker on women and leadership. I got a blog for Hudson, New York, done by Scott Baldinger, which is a terrific blog. And then finally, I've done a bunch of AdWords training and stuff that I don't do as much AdWords stuff except for clients once in a while. But I learned from Howie Jacobson and Joel McDonald, who has his new AdWizzle thing, on all the ropes, and they wrote the AdWords for Dummies book. So they've kind of mentored me and have been terrific and teach me everything I know. All right, there, I did it. 1 minute.
Oh my God, I can't believe that you wrapped that up like almost like within the 60-second mark. That was a phenomenal presentation. Obviously,
I rehearsed in front of a mirror.
well, I'd like to see you do that, but I know that you're a technological wizard. You would figure out a way to do it. But the endorsement that I can give Terry is that he gives so much information. He knows so much and does so much, and he's a major stream of information from so many different resources, and he shares his knowledge freely. And don't ask him to take you on as an apprentice, because you'll first of all, it'll kill you.
Yeah.
But he's a very knowledgeable guy, and one thing that I can say about all the people in my green room lineup, my panel co-hosts, they're all giving people, and they start with that. And the fact that that is the premise on what they come into the Google Plus community and start with that is their platform. That is what attracts me to have them on this program. And with that, I want to sidestep a little bit, because we are missing one of my regulars, and that person is Karen V. Chin. Now, she's not here to speak for herself, and I'm not going to spend 10 minutes trying to interpret what I think that her specialties are. Maybe in the future we'll have the opportunity to let her do that for you. But I made a few notes of things that we don't want to forget, and a little bit of a mention about Karen. And then if you guys have anything that you want to add to that, then you're welcome. And I apologize to the comment stream that I'm not interacting more with you. It's pretty phenomenal what's going on in the comment stream, and the people are having fun. They're talking to each other, and they're mentioning people in and out of the hangout, and that's a good thing. So I'm glad you're there, glad you're having fun and sharing with everybody. But anyway, back to Karen Chin. We talk about her being a smart marketer. She's definitely a smart marketer. She's got a master's degree in marketing. She chooses to focus right now on social media engagement, and there's no way I haven't seen anybody produce a social engagement cluster like a community as advanced and prolific as hers. So that's my stamp of approval and endorsement to Karen, that she had two communities. I was in both of them. The 28 Days of Love community had like 65% completion. That's a phenomenal engagement ratio. And then she had the 14 Days of Music challenge, and Terry, you were with me in that one, and I think that we almost had 100% completion. That's everybody posting every single day, and the engagement factor is enforced by she engages with each individual who are in the community. I think it was like 45 people or something like that, and every single day. Now, I don't know when she got any more sleep than Terry usually gets, but it's a phenomenal effort that she puts in. And when she's in something, she's 100% in. She does not let up. Very diligent and very efficient. And the lady knows the details. So if you ever want to know something about Google+, social media, and reviewing, and this type of thing, you should definitely check with Karen and follow Karen and learn from her. And maybe she'll even take you under her wing. I know just about everything I know about posting in Google Plus from her. Now, I would also like to extend that my endorsement covers Molly and Terry extensively. So if you guys have any inkling of wanting to build websites, learn something, or learn more about Google or learn more about technology, these are the two that you would turn to. And myself, I would be glad to guide you to them to carry my full endorsement. So with that being said, I've got about 10 minutes to wrap this up, and I don't know if anyone else wants to say anything about Karen or if you have any things you wanted to add, go ahead, Terry.
Well, Karen also is the reason I'm wearing this color shirt. We had a
That's
program.
right.
We had a program where people got on, and basically I changed shirts. I went through 13 different shirts, different colors that I had in my wardrobe. I just wore them all at once and peeled off one at a time. I would go off camera, peel off a shirt, put on. So anyway, yes, Karen induced everybody else to agree with her that red is my color for Hangouts. So I went out and bought about 75 red shirts. You'll see me in red a lot from now on. But
okay, that's cool.
Another claim to fame for Karen. Yes.
Yeah.
She's a good color judge.
Monumental achievement online.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'll switch gears a little bit because I would normally, take this time to talk about myself and my business, but I'm more interested in talking about a couple of things adjacent to that, and that is the theories and the thinking involved in internet marketing, because it's different today than it ever was before. And those of you who think that it's status quo, do it the way it was done before, and as we were talking to Heather earlier about the 7 steps to success, if someone hands you that, you better think twice and question it, because it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game from what was a year ago, let alone 2 years or 3 years ago. So you really need a new view, fresh view, and that's what this Hangout series is supposed to present to you, is some of the new ideas, some of the things that you should adopt, and some of the things that you should stay away from and not necessarily use, but use when it's appropriate for the scale of your business and at the right time. So with all of that mouthing off, I'm way off my my list of things. But what I preach to the world is that outbound is out. When it comes to social media, outbound is out. And I'm very strongly buried in social media as an effort right now. So it really does apply. And the deeper principles of theory that go into it is why we should understand why we're doing something, and then understand how to do something properly to make a difference. Don't just get the checklist and go down the checklist and do things. We have to do things that make a difference. Okay, but it is my belief that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And then when the need arises, they will buy. Meanwhile, the important thing for us to do is to provide an education resource where we can build relationships, build our brand, and be of service to others. So that's the whole principle of this Hangout series. This is why I do it. And oh yeah, maybe I have time for this. I was watching Andrew Hatchett and his posting series in his user-to-user live community. By the way, that's one of the few communities that I endorse openly and vocally, and I really think it's a user_live community in Google+. And he just, I can't say enough about him. He does everything that he does benefits everybody else. And he's there for the Google Plus community. He generates a stream of information that keeps us alerted to things, and also helps us out with the problems we have in Google Plus and in Hangouts. So I endorse him fully, and I thank you. He's in the audience today, and I was going to say this whether you were there or not, Andrew. But anyway, and one of his constituents, Heather Crafter, is also in the listening, watching audience, and I have been trying to get her here for maybe 2 or 3 months. I put a really bold request out once, and I asked her, "Hey, will you be on my Hangout?" And she said no, and very well said, because you don't want to automatically say yes to something, but you want to get familiar with it and find out what it's all about, get to know the host, and at least be something of friends before you do a thing like that. So I have been attempting in my own way to achieve a relationship to talk to her. So hopefully she will see what's happening here and picture herself talking about her business on this hangout. Because, and I say this, I'm always preaching to people, and I say preaching loosely but firmly, that you need a website, a Google Plus account, working Hangouts, and a YouTube account. And she's got all three, and she's doing it the right way. So she's a great example of the primary thing that I promote in this program. So Heather, please give that some thought. But anyway, regressing. Andrew posted this, and I'm sure he's not the first one. He was passing it along, but he put it in the user-to-user community, and I grabbed it. I read that, and I just laughed my frickin' butt off. And some of you, I know some of you got to see this, but a lot of you have not, including my cohort Terry, has not even heard this. So this is a story by a guy named Andy Borowitz, and he does this thing called the Borowitz Report. And this particular article, hang on now, playing with the browser one-handed. It's headed like this: Scientists, Earth endangered by new strain of fact-resistant humans. And that's the title of the article, okay? Fact-resistant humans. And I'm going to attempt, as badly as I speak as it is, I'm going to attempt to read this to you. Minneapolis, the Borowitz Report. Scientists have discovered a powerful new strain of fact-resistant humans who are threatening the ability of Earth to sustain life, a sobering new study reports. The research conducted by the University of Minnesota identifies a virulent strain of humans who are virtually immune to any form of verifiable knowledge, leaving scientists at a loss on how to combat them. And now this is in quotes. These humans appear to have all the faculties necessary to receive and process information, David Logsdon, one of the scientists who contributed to the study, said, and yet somehow they have developed defenses for all intents and purposes, have rendered those faculties totally inactive. I'm sorry, it's just cracking me up. And more worryingly, Logsdon says, as facts have multiplied, their defenses against those facts have only grown more powerful. While scientists have no clear understanding of the mechanisms that prevent fact-resistant humans from absorbing data, they theorize that the strain may have developed the inability to intercept and discard information en route from the auditory nerve to the brain. So how's that for a scientific dialogue there? And the normal functions of human consciousness have been completely nullified, Logsdon said. While reaffirming the gloomy assessments of the study, Logsdon held out hope that the threat of fact-resistant humans could be mitigated in the future. Our research is very preliminary, but it's possible that they will become more receptive to facts once they are in an environment without food, water, or oxygen, he said. End of article. What do you think of that, Terry?
Just the facts, ma'am. Nothing but the facts.
Oh my God, that tore me up when I read it.
Yeah. Well, I just refuse to even accept those facts. Oh no, I'm catching it.
Anyway, that's you know, the whole thing about the article is I'm cracking up. But guess what? It's very true. There are a lot of people who have locked in their states of mind. They think they understand and think they know something, and so they live out their life thinking these things. And when I grew up from the age of 14 or 15 believing that everything changes, nothing stays the same, So I built my life around adaptability and change. And so that's my state of mind. And so when I hear people say, "Oh no, it's got to be handled this way, or it's got to be this way," this always works, and it'll work for you. And my proverbial 7-step method works for everybody, and it's proven. And no, it doesn't, because everyone's different, and everyone will handle their life different, and everyone will perform differently. And so it's back to what we were discussing early on. All of the methodologies and things have to be customized depending upon the client and what you want to achieve. It's got to be personalized, and that's what I do best. Find out what the person's strengths are, and focus and capitalize on them, so that they can be successful. I guess end of subject. So anyway, that pretty much wraps up my spiel for the day. And I'm happy to have read that article and had some fun. Any last comments? We're actually over time by a minute. Back to you, Molly. Would you like to add anything in closing?
Yeah, I'd just like to add to that I mean, the whole landscape of digital marketing is always changing. It's never, what was important last week is last week. Next week is going to bring another change, and that's part of our responsibilities as being digital marketers, is to stay on top of all of the changes that happen, and they happen across the board, with search, with AdWords, with analytics, website design, mobile design, of the different type of marketing funnels that are available. So I would just add to that, being that this is what I do, that's part of my responsibility to my clients, is to make sure that I'm on top of the latest cutting edge technologies and strategies. And I agree that you have to always be adapting, you have to always be evolving. I have a little phrase that I use that I tell people, you can either accept technology and move forward with it, or you just get left behind. So that would be my final thought for that.
All right. Thank you, Molly. Thanks very much. Mm-hmm. How about you, Terry?
Well, since this was a lot about things that Molly and I do and Karen does to help people out, and just to implore people to, take advantage of that. Be a fact seeker, and realize that there's a lot of people out there who are very willing to help out. Check out the forums that Google has in abundance, and the YouTube forums, all the help things that they have. Use YouTube's search feature. Don't just use Google search. Use YouTube search. You'll find tutorials galore on any subject you could ever imagine. Oh yes, half of them are mine, but you'll find other people's too. And but really take advantage of these resources, the user-to-user community. Join that. Try to give as well as receive. But if all you can do is receive at this point, ask questions, get help. People love to help other people, and eventually you'll become an expert. And that person who knows a little bit less than you know will come along, and you will now have that information that they need, because everybody rises up. Okay, the tide rises and all boats go with it. So, anyway, that's my thing. I just implore you to go ahead and take advantage of all these great resources that the Googleverse and beyond, and especially the people here have really provided for y'all.
Great, Terry. Thank you. And I would have to, re-endorse the fact that you bring so much wealth and knowledge to the Google Plus community. And that a lot of it has nothing to do with Google Plus, but I mean, just so much information. You feed people in so many ways that I really admire. I don't know how you do it, and I just want to tell everybody that my dreams are coming true, and that my request to have Heather Crafter be on the show a few months ago may be coming true in the near future, because she's just endorsed the fact that she would like to talk about that. So, yep, I'm feeling good about that. And so that's a success story for my day. And I'm glad to have spent this hour talking about you guys and you gals. And I wish Karen had been here. But absolutely a wonderful clan of people that I have flowing through here and passing on the information and really a lot of value to the Google Plus world. So in that, my job is complete. And I thank everyone for being here on Saturday Morning Marketing Smarties. And wherever you are in the world, have a great day, and we'll see you again. And continue to comment in the comment stream. I will review the comments, and I will go through. We'll all see where we can help out, and we will comment back in time. So thank you very much, and have a great day. Okay, have a nice Saturday. Or Sunday if that's your day. Bye-bye.